Talk to you. Let's just start walking through some of these love languages. You write these down, and we're going to move these through. And hopefully, the point is this will spark and encourage you to go to the next level, to really swing for the fences. Number one, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is number one. Do you affirm? Here is what. In his book, Gary Chapman says, he says, actions don't always speak louder than words. Actions don't always speak louder than words. In other words, guys and gals, we need to learn to affirm people. I will tell you, when we took the test this week, this was my number one answer. I like to be affirmed. I love for my bride to affirm me and speak positively. It's down a little bit, but still high. And words of affirmation are important to both of us in our relationship.
This is probably one that's been important to John Mark. Even obviously after we went on that run, we started dating. I don't know how we did that, but we did. And our families called it a merger in Houston, not a marriage. But we did begin the road of marriage. And I remember because I was teaching, my first teaching job in Houston area. And John Mark was here in seminary. And so we began our relationship kind of separated. And I would get one or two cards every week from him in the mail that just affirmed me and, just supported me in my new job and just were always very affirming. So that's always been something that he has built even on the foundation of our relationships. And if there's anything I can encourage you to do with your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, parent, child, mate, whatever it is, that the words of affirmation are so important in building up for times that are tough. But I do remember one story when I got a card in the mail, and I got it out of the mail, and it was covered in something. And so I was a little bit, leery about it, but I opened it up, and inside, I kid you not, was a dried jalapeno. I still have the card. So I asked him, I was like, man, I don't know what happened to your card in the mail. Something happened to it. And he goes, no, when I was walking out of Kroger, I dropped my bag, and it had the salsa in it. And so that's the other thing I learned about John Mark that day is not only he's cheap, he really is.
I'd prefer the word frugal.
Okay, frugal, cheap, and so he went ahead and wrote in the card and sent it. I thought that was gross, but I appreciate the words of affirmation, though.
Yeah, well.
But he has always been good at this, and this is definitely an area that I've had to grow in. It is one of his love languages.
I went back in. I was willing to buy more hot sauce, but I wasn't willing to buy another card. Just FYI on that. Look at one verse here, Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. Let's put it up on the screen if you would. It says, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Man, what you say has power to bring life to your relationship or death to your relationships, even more sometimes than what you do. It's got to be both a saying and a doing.